Here we go. The old lighthouse stood proudly on the very edge of the rocks and sparkled its message over every mood of the sea. Blue seas lapped and whispered, green seas danced, and every once in a while, black seas raged. The lighthouse was watched over by a straggle of sugar cube cottages that balanced high up on the edges of the cliffs, crawling slowly down to a fishing village farther along the bay. You could scramble down the slippery rocks, but the only easy way to the lighthouse was by boat. At the very top of the old lighthouse, the great 24-candle lantern sent its light nearly as far as the sky. At dawn, yawning, the lonely lighthouse keeper scanned the wide ocean for ships. Hi, Craig. Hey, congratulations, Craig, on Daisy. I don't know if everybody heard, but Daisy's, I think the growth turned out to be negative, non-cancerous. So, woohoo! Woohoo for Daisy! No. At dawn, yawning, the lonely lighthouse keeper scanned the wide ocean for ships. At dawn, keeping the candles lit was his most important job. Without fail, his pocket watch would remind him to check the lantern light and trim the candle wicks every half hour. It was well known that without the old lighthouse, the jagged, rocky coastline would be littered with shipwrecks. Every Friday, if the sea was friendly, a boat from the fishing village would bring supplies to the lighthouse keeper. On one particular Friday, he piled the boxes high on the round kitchen table and realized it was already time to check the lantern. Up he climbed to where the 24 candles glowed obediently. Sometimes the lighthouse keeper would try to make things more interesting and gallop up, 3 steps at a time, or hop down, down, down on one leg, but usually he plodded. Down, down, down he went, thinking of lunch, and suddenly rolled head over heels, thump, 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 all the way down, down, down. Yeah, it's anywhere in the 7:30 to 8 o'clock range that I start. It really all depends on my schedule. So there he found himself nose to nose with something. The something had bright yellow eyes and was swirled with stormy colors of silver, shadowy fish. When the something meowed, the lighthouse keeper chuckled and called him Mackerel. Then he laughed and laughed and laughed. This was the best thing in this week's groceries. The two had become inseparable. Little Mackerel would follow the lighthouse keeper everywhere. Up, 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 down, down, down. Mackerel made friends with the seagulls and puffins and explored every nook of the rocky outcrop. Hi, Susie. He gazed at himself in the rock pools and quickly learned about crabs and slippery seaweed. Mackerel knew how to scan the sea, and when he spotted a whale or a boat, he would tap the lighthouse keeper's nose or jump onto his shoulder. Every night without fail, the two of them would go up, up, up to the very top of the lighthouse, watch the night seas, and keep the candles burning. Look at that little kitty. Sometimes on sunny days, They would add another coat of paint to the lighthouse's red and white stripes, or sit on the very edge of the rocks and watch for dolphins. Hi, Danielle. When the tide was really low, they would scour the beach and collect driftwood, so that on stormy days the lighthouse keeper could set the work on his curved and round furniture. Once they even found a message in a bottle. The lighthouse keeper loved his lighthouse with its round rooms. Now he whistled and was never even the tiniest bit lonely. With Mackerel, the lighthouse was the best and only place in the world. And still, without fail, they would check the lantern light every half an hour. Every day and every night was the same, except for one. It was known and feared that in times of terrible storms, the candles could blow out. One dark night, the black clouds gathered speed and whisked through the heavens. The sea leaped in a frenzy at the command of the storm. The waves rose ever higher, and the moon kept blinking as it was buffeted by the wind. In one huff, the wind gathered all of its strength and blew out the candles in the lighthouse as though they were on a birthday cake. Yes, mackerel is a mackerel tabby. And actually, Tina Harris, I do this every Wednesday night. This is story time, where I'll read stories for about an hour. Now, the lighthouse stood blind as the wind spiraled delightfully around. Shivering, Mackerel gazed hard out to sea, watching a small fishing boat disappear and reappear through the mountainous seas, ever drifting toward the jagged toothed rocks. Was that two eyes flashing at him from the boat? Where was the lighthouse keeper? For an instant, the moon lit up Mackerel's yellow eyes, and he fled down, down, down. Then, out of the rocky outcrop, Mackerel saw the lighthouse keeper frantically waving a lantern, but the wind blew that out, too, like a feather. This was one of my wife's favorite books. Mackerel knew what he had to do. He sped up to the top of the lighthouse and caterwauled and screamed at the top of his voice to the heavens. For a moment, the wind stopped to listen. Mackerel's yells reached the twitching ears of every cat sleeping in the cottage dotting the high cliffs. Then 11 cats, also caterwauling and screaming, came slipping and sliding, running, jumping, and tumbling down the cliffside. In the chaos, plant pots crashed, plant pots crashed, fishing nets unraveled, and onions and potatoes bumped down the cliffs after them. And here's all the caterwauling kitties. Within minutes, 11 wet and wailing cats have sped up to the top of the lighthouse. Mackerel was waiting. You're welcome, Dutchie. Mackerel was waiting. One by one, each jumped up next to him and gazed at the thrashing fishing boat. All 12 cats called to the moon, and again the wind stopped to listen. The clouds parted, and the moon peeped through and reflected in the cat's eyes. At the very moment the lighthouse keeper looked up in desperation, he saw 24 little lights at the very top of the lighthouse, where the lantern would shine. Let me see if I can zoom in on the picture with all the kitty eyes. Do you see the kitty eyes in the lighthouse? Very cool. Surely the fishing boat must see them. Up, up, up the lighthouse keeper ran. He watched wide-eyed. He hoped, he prayed. Then, very slowly, the little fishing boat turned miraculously away from the rocks. Again, Mackerel saw the two eyes flash back at him from the boat. The 12 cats all looked around and smiled. Much later, in a tumble-down cottage, another cat smiled too and warmed himself in front of the fire. The village people never knew about their cats that night. They still talk about that great storm and how their cats slept for a whole day and night afterward. What would have happened had the great lighthouse lantern blown out, they wondered. Little did they know. By Friday, when the sea was all iridescent shades of blue again, the boat turned up with supplies. Mackerel felt sure he had seen the boat somewhere else. And when a cat the color of night, with flashing eyes, looked out and smiled, he knew where he had seen those eyes. Now, every night, whistling twice as loud, the lighthouse keeper still sits with Mackerel and his new friend. Together they scan the sea and watch the glow of the great lantern creeping far and wide as the sun sets and the moon rises. Now look at that little kitty cat. It's like a little Lucy. And then there's a little epilogue. The lighthouse. This story is inspired by a lighthouse called Smeaton's Tower. It stood for 127 years at sea on the treacherous, windswept Eddystone Rocks just south of Plymouth in the southwest of England. There have been 5 lighthouses on those rocks. The first, Winstanley's Wooden Tower, 1698, was also the first ever lighthouse surrounded by deep water, proving that a lighthouse could save countless lives. It was rebuilt after the first winter, but was washed out to sea 4 years later in the most terrible storm that had ever been recorded in England. The third, Rudyard's Tower, 1709, burnt down after 47 years when the 24 candles set fire to the roof. Luckily, the 3 lighthouse keepers were rescued. One had swallowed 7 ounces of melted lead as it dripped from the roof. Ooh. The fourth, Smeaton's Tower, 1759, then still lit by 24 candles, inspired lighthouse designs around the world. When the rock started to erode, the people wanted the lighthouse brought to land, and it has now stood on Plymouth Hoe for more than 100 years. This lighthouse appeared as a feat of engineering on the old British penny coin. The only one of these lighthouses not to have been powered by candles, Douglas Tower, 1882, now with its own helipad, still sits on the Eddystone Rocks today. We can only guess how many people these 5 windswept lampposts of the ocean and their keepers have saved from the wild sea and dark rocks. There were certainly no lighthouses to guide the pilgrims who sailed from Plymouth to America in 1620 past these dangerous reefs. Let me see who the illustrator is. Illustrated by Anne Mortimer. So that is the Lighthouse Cat. That's the back of the book. That's the front of the book. All right. Next, probably one of the best of the C.H. Kitty books. This is called Betty Tales. The true story of a brave bobblehead cat. I've read this a couple times here. Introduction. Betty is a disabled cat who has taught her family wonderful lessons. She taught us that disabilities do not define who a person is or what he or she can accomplish. I hope you enjoy reading about Betty and her mischievous ways, and you learn, as we did, that animals and people with disabilities are able to do amazing things, just like you can. When we first met Betty, our family had 2 children, a dog, 2 cats, a ferret, 2 birds, and a dwarf hamster named Thor the Assassin. I came home from work one day to find my 13-year-old daughter, Emily, waiting for me. Mom, she said, wringing her hands, I need to show you something. Okay, I said. I wonder what had made her so nervous. It's out on the patio. I just want to take care of it until we can find it a good home, she said. I followed her into the screened room. Emily pointed, and I peered over the side of the laundry basket. In the corner of the basket was a tiny ball of softly meowing black fluff. She was the tiniest kitten I had ever seen. She could fit in the palm of my hand. Her eyes looked confused. She was so weak her little head bobbed up and down. I was walking home from school, Emily said. The construction workers down the block called me over to show me. They found her in the street. She was really dirty and scared. They couldn't take her home. I brought her home to save her, Mom. I gave her a bath. I'm going to call her Betty. Look at her beautiful eyes. Emily stopped to see what I would say. When I didn't answer right away, Emily added, we could give her away after she gets bigger. And we all are thinking, yeah, right. Just they're in the house for a couple of days, and then of course you fall in love with them, and Betty had been a feral cat. Feral cats are wild cats with no home other than in the woods. They live by hunting smaller animals, and sometimes, if they are lucky, by the kindness of humans. Feral cats do not have regular vet visits and shots to protect them from diseases. Betty's family lived in the woods near our house until construction workers started building there. I felt sad because I realized it would be hard to find a home for her. I turned to the doctor to look at the little black kitten. Ma, did I miss a page? Oh, I missed a page. Sheesh. Yeah, I figured that. We can give away. Okay. I looked at my little daughter. Her big blue eyes were peeking at me from under her blonde hair. She looked from the kitten to me, hopefully. Sighing, I nodded and said, yes, we'll have to keep her for a little bit. I went inside to call our veterinarian to find out how to take care of a kitten that tiny. The veterinarian told us how to feed her. We did not have the right food, so we went to the pet store for bottles and formula. The poor little kitten was so hungry. She attacked the bottle. We laughed as her little paws grabbed it and held on tightly. As the weeks passed and we took care of her, it grew harder and harder to think of giving her away to another family. We were determined to find her a good home as soon as when she was old enough. There was a problem, though. We were starting to love her. After her first vet visit, Betty seemed to be just like every other kitten. She passed with flying colors. At home, we giggled at her little kitten steps as she wobbled around the home. A few weeks later, we took Betty for her second visit to the vet. The doctor watched as Betty wobbled around the table and turned to me and said, I'm sorry, but Betty is a bobblehead cat. What is that? I asked. Well, when the mother cat is sick, it can damage the kitten. Her brain didn't grow as much as it should. It doesn't tell the muscles what to do very well, so she can't use them like most cats. Some bobblehead cats can barely walk at all. Betty is actually lucky. She won't get better, but she won't get any worse. She'll always walk with a wobble like that, and she'll never be very big. Betty had been a feral cat. Feral cats are wild cats with no home other than in the woods. Hello, Nugget. Nugget must be conditioned to go into the house because he's looking up and he wants to go into the house. You know, it's funny with Nugget. You can actually see the stripes on his side now. He's getting so big. So they live by hunting smaller animals and sometimes, if they're lucky, by the kindness of humans. Feral cats don't have regular vet visits and shots to protect them from diseases. Betty's family lived in the woods near our house until construction workers started building there. I felt sad because I realized it would be hard to find a home for her. I turned from the doctor to look at the little black kitten. Mom, we have to keep her now, Emily said. We just have to. Yes, Em, I said slowly. It wouldn't be right to give her away now. The months passed, and as Betty grew, she surprised us with her determination to do things her way. I don't see anything in Ramsey's bed, so. Betty walked idly with both back legs stretched out on either side of her skinny little body to give her some support. She still lost her balance and fell on her side a lot. She always got a look on her face and said, I meant to do that, and just got up again. We lived in a 2-story house. The steps to the second floor were tall and carpeted. At first, we carried Betty up or down the stairs. We wanted her with us whenever we were in the house. It wasn't long, though, before Betty hissed and growled when we picked her up to travel the stairs. She insisted on rolling down. She would thump and bump her way to the first floor, then prance around to the bottom. Her attitude said, see, I knew I could do it. You don't have to carry me. Sounds like some cats we know here, huh? For the trip to the stairs, she dug her claws into the carpet. She pulled herself up all 2 flights, 1 step at a time. It was painful for us to watch. We wanted to help, but she was insistent and determined to do it her way. We had to let her. Sweetie and Garbo, our 2 older cats, liked to perch on the dresser or bathroom counter. They peered down at Betty like she was in a zoo. They weren't too happy. They looked at me as if to ask, how could I have let another cat live in our house? Betty made sure they knew she was really the cat in charge. They quickly learned that they could not just jump on things and get away from her. They quickly learned that they could just jump up on things and get away from her, and did so often, because Betty couldn't jump up to follow them. Every now and then, another cat dared to walk through our yard when Betty was at the window watching birds. Betty's tail puffed out. She jumped up to fight with her legs spread. We heard her hissing all over the house. It was a good thing she couldn't get outside. Even though the ceiling fan was high above her, Betty was afraid of it and ducked her head whenever she walked into the room. Because Betty couldn't run like most cats, she hopped and jumped to get to safety under the coffee table. She must have thought the fan was a bird ready to swoop down and snatch her. She was more cautious than most other cats because she knew she couldn't get away quickly. That never stopped her from exploring, though. She was just careful about it. When I napped on the couch, Betty liked to climb under my legs. She poked her head out of the hole in my favorite blanket to keep an eye out on that fan. She liked to spy on the other cats, too. When the weather turned colder, I liked to sit out front of the patio chairs and enjoy our little garden. If I sat still enough, birds came and played in the bird bath close to me. Betty wasn't sure she liked going outside. At first, she clung to my shirt with her claws. She ducked her head under my chin. After a while, Betty realized she was protected in my arms. Once she knew she was safe, she sat across my lap while I scratched her neck behind her ears. Betty watched everything that moved. When a breeze blew the leaves, she never knew where to look first. There were too many things moving. Her little nose would go up in the air to catch scents in the wind. If a blue jay came to the bird bath, Betty froze. She looked like she was planning to leap off my lap and grab that big old bird for dinner. Once Betty was sitting on top of a chair in the front window, watching the bird bath outside. It was full of sparrows, splashing around the bath like a public pool. A red-headed woodpecker perched on the side and watched. He looked like he was a lifeguard protecting all the little birds. Betty's eyes never moved as she stared at all those birds. Her jaw moved up and down as if she had already caught one and was enjoying an afternoon snack. She would never be able to really catch one, but she liked acting as if she could. I like the little picture here because it looks like Betty's like a Dr. Seuss character. Doesn't Betty look like a Dr. Seuss character? When it was cold, Betty liked to sleep on my bed, but she had strict rules. For example, I wasn't allowed to pick her up and put her on the bed. She had to claw her way up the side of the bed. Once up, she growled and stumbled over to the space I made for her by my knees. I was allowed to pet her once or twice. If I tried to pet her more than that, she growled again and hissed. If I dared to turn over. Sometimes she stayed. Other times she acted like that was just too much to bear. Growling and complaining, Betty would head for the foot of the bed. I was not allowed to put her on the floor. She insisted on leaping off like a flying superhero. Betty has taught our family a lot about living with a disability. She has taught us that determination, persistence, and independence are very important. She has taught us to speak up for ourselves when we would rather not do something. She has taught us to be proud of what we could do and not to think too hard about the things we couldn't do. She has taught us that even though her body doesn't work exactly like a cat's body is supposed to work, her brain and heart still do. Betty is older now. The doctor was right. She is still a little cat, but Betty is still very much the cat in charge and is still teaching us important lessons. So here's a picture of Betty. She looks a lot like Lucy. Hi, Stacy. That's a book about Betty. Sure. Absolutely. Oh, okay. All right. Next book is Finnegan Fox and Friends. Now, this is based on the Save a Fox rescue that's in Minnesota. All right. So if you ever see Save a Fox Rescue, they got a lot of, they're on Facebook, they're on TikTok, they're on Instagram. So they're all over the place on social media. Highly recommend, especially seeing Finnegan. So let me just kind of show you the pictures on the back. Because Finnegan, whenever you rub his belly, it sounds like Finnegan is laughing. He's a very, very personable fox. And the other thing about this rescue is that they save foxes from the fur trade. And they will adopt out foxes if it's legal in the state to own a fox. Now, a lot of states, you're not allowed to own you're not allowed to keep foxes as pets, but they have a pretty big sanctuary. And again, Finnegan is the biggest one. It says in loving memory of Batty Artemis. All right, so hi, I'm Finnegan the Fox. Welcome to my home, Save a Fox Rescue. So there's a lot of things here, it's not that much different than FFRC. All right, they got a huge farm, they got a little horse stable, but then they got a coyote yard. You know, really really nice sanctuary for foxes. All right, they got minks there too. How you doing? My friends and I will teach you about foxes. Did you know male foxes are called tods or dogs, and female foxes are called vixens? That's where Vixie got her name. This is Vixie. Vixie is my mate. She's very protective of me. Dixie, the red fox, has a crush on me, but I've already chosen Vixie to be my life partner. We call Dixie the queen because she likes to sit on people's heads. Dixie is very chatty and loves to talk. Red foxes are mostly monogamous. This means that when foxes choose a mate, they only raise their young with the same mate every year. All of us get spayed and neutered. This means we can't have babies. But every year when the new rescue pups come, we get to play with them. My friend Mutius is very smart. He is also very shy. He likes to spend all of his free time learning new tricks. We don't always get along, and I have to remind him that I am the fox in charge. Kipper is the baby fox here. Did you know baby foxes are called kits, pups, or cubs? Kipper is goofy and likes to play with everyone. Everyone is Kipper's best friend. I love to laugh, spend time with my girl Vixie, and dig holes. Lots and lots and lots of holes. My friends Vixie, Dixie, Mutius, Kipper, and I will live here forever. Did you know a group of foxes is called a leash, skulk, or earth? Look at that awesome picture. Here's a nice little picture. Some of us were rescued from scary places, so it took a while to gain the trust of people again. All of us were born in captivity, so we could never live in the wild. We could not make it on our own, unlike Mary Tyler Moore. That is why we count on rescues like Save a Fox to take care of us and give us a nice place to live. And then little pictures of www.saveafox.org. There's the lady who is the founder and the president. So I'm going to take like a couple-minute break, and then I will go back and read you the rest of the books. Lucy! Hi. Hi there. How's the boy? How's that nugget? Huh? You a good boy? Hmm? What's a good boy? What's a good boy? Where's a little nugget? Where's a little nugget? Where's a nugget? Oh, you're so sweet. You're such a sweet boy. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're such a sweetie. You're such a sweet boy. Yes. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, you're purring up a storm. I have a parrot cat. Hi. Hi there. What do you think? What do you think of my new mustache? But I can't pay the rent. You must pay the rent. But I can't pay the rent. Oh, who are you purring in my ear? Who are you purring in my ear? Hmm? He didn't like me playing with his tail, did he? You didn't like that at all, did you? You didn't. Oh, oh, it's a little nugget. Oh, it's a little nugget. Oh. Oh, man. You know, I'm supposed to read. I still have a couple books to go. It's going to be hard to read with you on my shoulder. Yeah, I know. And he is purring up a storm. Oh, it's a purring up a storm. You're getting big. You're getting big, boy. You're getting big. Hey, Asha's out. There's Asha's out. You see Asha? Hmm? They're silly. They're silly. Would you like to hear about Harry, the dirty dog? Hmm? Would you like to hear about Harry, the dirty dog? Oh, yeah? You want to? Go ahead. You can touch it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good good. Well, I'll tell you what, Cheryl. This is the place for really sweet kitties. And I went in the back and was playing with the kittens back there. Oh, boy. How you doing? Hmm? How you doing? Hmm? Oh, no, 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 no. You're supposed to be a nice boy. You know that? You're supposed to be a nice boy. No biting. No biting. All right, licking is fine. Licking is fine. All right. You want to read? I wonder if he's going to let me put my glasses on. All right. We're going to read Harry the Dirty Dog. What do you think? Harry the Dirty Dog. It's a classic. Harry the Dirty Dog. Can I, you know, it's time for your nails to be clipped because your nails are like knives. All right. All right. Nugget was a white cat with black spots. No, I'm sorry. That's wrong. Harry was a white dog with black spots who liked everything except getting a bath. So one day when he heard the water running in the tub, he took the scrubbing brush. So here's Harry. And buried it in the backyard. And then he ran away from home. You're not going to run away from home, are you, Nugget? Woo! Whoa! He played where they were fixing the street and got very dirty. Oh, jeez. Just to show you, he's pawing at my glasses. I don't know. I think the Nugget show might be a little bit more entertaining. Hey, what are you? There's our buttons. Those are buttons. You know that? I remember when you were this big. You just remember that. I know where you came from. Harry played at the railroad and got even dirtier. He played tag with the other dogs and became dirtier still. Hey, oh no. No. All right. You can bite the do not bite my insulin pump. That is not good. All right. Making sure that you can't get to it. Okay, we're good. He slid down a coal chute and got the dirtiest of all. In fact, he had changed from a white dog with black spots to a black dog with white spots. I have to turn the page. Can I borrow this hand? I'll give it right back. I promise. Okay? I'll give it back. Just here. Give me a second. I got to turn the page. All right, there. There we go. Although there were many other things to do, Harry began to wonder if his family thought that he had really run away. He felt tired and hungry too. So without stopping on the way, he ran back home. Do you say that Harry's a dirty dog? Huh? Is Harry a dirty dog? Nugget is a bad kitty. You're a bad kitty. What's a bad kitty? Hello, how are you? Yes, my scarf. When Harry got to his home, he crawled through the fence and sat looking at... Did you just leap off me? Wow, that's impressive. That's impressive. Very good. Very good. Yeah. Oh, very good. Oh. Oh. All right, ready? Boop. 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 Oh, man. All right. When Harry got to his home, he crawled through the fence and sat looking at the back door. One of the family looked out and said, "There's a strange dog in the backyard." By the way, has anyone seen Harry? When Harry heard this, he tried very hard to show him that he was Harry. He started to do all of his old clever tricks. He flip-flopped and he flop-flipped. He rolled over and he played dead. He danced and he sang. You know what? I didn't really show you these pictures, did I? There we go. Look how dirty Harry is. Dirty Harry. Go ahead. Make my day. All right. He danced and he sang. He did these tricks over and over again, but everyone shook their heads and said, "Oh no, it couldn't be Harry." Thank you. Yeah, this is a classic book. And I got like 3 Harry books. Harry gave up and walked slowly toward the gate, but suddenly he stopped. He ran to the corner of the garden and started to dig furiously. Soon he jumped away from the hole, barking short, happy barks. He found the scrubbing brush, and carrying it in his mouth, he ran into the house. Up the stairs he dashed, with the family following close behind. He jumped into the bathtub and sat up begging, with a scrubbing brush in his mouth. A trick he certainly had never done before. "This little doggy wants a bath," cried the little girl, and her father said, "Why don't you and your brother give him one?" Harry's bath was the soapiest one he'd ever had. It worked like magic. As soon as the children started to scrub, they began shouting, "Mommy, Daddy, look, look, come quick. It's Harry, it's Harry, it's Harry," they cried. Harry wagged his tail and was very, very happy. His family combed and brushed him lovingly, and he became once again a white dog with black spots. It was wonderful to be home. After dinner, Harry fell asleep in his favorite place, happily dreaming of how much fun it had been getting dirty. He slept so soundly, he didn't even feel the scrubbing brush he'd hidden under his pillow. Classic book. Now, I don't know if I have all of them. There's Harry by the Sea. There's Harry and the Lady Next Door. And then there's No Roses for Harry. So, yeah. Well, you know, it's funny, DeWitty. The one, or How Many Cats, who wrote this? Gene Zion. And Gene actually wrote all of the Harry books. There's 4 of them. DeWitty, I was actually going to say, how about How Many Cats totally changed colors after they got trimmed up? I'm thinking Putter. You know, remember how Putter was so matted? You know, who was the other one? Recently, who just it wasn't Maddie May. Yeah, I mean, these are good. I mean, the other one, oh, he was just biting me, just to let you know. So, I was going to start up Charlotte's Web again, but we don't have a whole lot of time. And this is a pretty long book. There's like 200 pages. And this is not the children's, you know. So a lot of the books that I have now, I've already read, but I figure I can read them again. I'm going to probably try to dig out another CH Kitty book I have, another, you know, really, really good book. Oh, look at that. That's Kiara. Kiara is sleeping in the basket over here. Asha, Lucy, Lucy and Asha. Lucy. Oh, yeah. Oh, you meowing at me. You meowing at me. You like the butt rubs, huh? You like the butt rubs? Oh, I see a Canby. All right, ready? We're going to do the Rockettes. Do, 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 do. Da, 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 da. There we go. Stay. Hi, Asha. Hey, Asha, you were meowing at me. Yes, you were meowing. Oh. Lucy! Marilyn, I have to bring this kitty up. Oh, a little tiny one. Oh, it's a little tiny one. Oh, you're so warm. Hello, Mother. So, Nugget is no longer the smallest kitty here. And actually, this one here isn't really the smallest one. Miles. Where's Miles? Miles. Which Miles? Oh. Yep. Oh, you. That's a, oh. Yeah, it's a good kitty. That's a good kitty. Oh, yeah. Bye, Tracy. He might be. He might be getting adopted. I don't know. But look at him. Who would not adopt this kitten? Why? Bless you. Yeah, leg laps. And wasn't that cutie? That was mainly for, yeah, I'm a cat magnet, all right. Boy, considering that Miles was completely asleep and I grabbed him. Oh, it's a good guy. It's a good guy. Oh, it's a good guy. Oh, it's a big yawn. What's a big yawn? Really? Okay. Boy, I'll tell you, they don't stay long, some of them, do they, huh? Mm. How you doing? Mm? Mm. How you doing? He's purring now. He's purring. Yep. Yes, I think Alexandria did leave. Alexandra left today. Didn't really know Alexandra. These cute cats coming and going. You know, it's kind of like, the happiest part is when they leave. Hi, Ms. M. I'm doing okay. Hour. You've been taking lessons from Nugget? Hmm? You been taking lessons from Nugget? Hmm? I see derechos in back of me. Let me see if I can move over because I think I'm hogging up the screen. Just so that you can also see Miles. Miles, Miles, Miles. Watch a Miles. Yep, Big D. Watch Miles, Miles, Miles. Oh. Are you licking me or well, I think you're licking my eyebrows. You know, Gallant does that. You know that? He likes to lick my hair and my eyebrows when I'm asleep. Yeah, like 4 in the morning. He's like, don't turn over again. Oh, what? You know, this reminds me of our boy Guinness. When we adopted Guinness, was about this size. And Guinness was you know, very underweight, was hit by a car, had a really bad reaction to his shots and almost died. And he's got asthma, but he is the sweetest cat you'll ever meet in your life. What? 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 No, 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 no. No biting. No biting. You're going to your forever home next week. We can't have you biting. We cannot have you biting. No, 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 no. Are you getting cranky? Do you want me to put you down? Do you want me to put you down? Hmm? You're getting a little cranky kitty? It's a cranky cat. Here, I'm going to put you back. Barbara from the cat rescue. I think she's doing okay. I haven't really seen much from her. And, you know, my sister-in-law, she's doing okay. I've made plans for the memorial for Bonnie, so I probably will see her at the memorial, I think. So, all right, let me. There we go. Here we go. Well, what are you coming back? It's a derecho. Oh, it's a derecho. Oh, Miles, are you following me? Are you following me? You know who I have never? Oh, maybe that's him. I have never seen Ringo, and I think this is him. Hello, Ringo. Hi, Rings. How's Ringo? Ringo. Ringo around the collar. Ringo around the collar. Hi, Ringo. How's the Ringo? What's a Ringo? What's a Ringo, Ringo? Ringo, Ringo. Hi, derecho. So, I am going to leave in about 5 minutes. I have to get up early because I have to catch up for work. I appreciate that, Ms. M. What are you doing? I caught you. Hi, Big D. Hi, Big D. I have not seen Bump today. Coralie, oh, you're welcome, Craig. Coralie is actually right over here. She is totally out. I want to see if Bub's around. I don't see Bob. Where's Bob? I don't know. I know. Yeah, Courtly is right. I don't know if you can see her. No, she's just out of camera range. Hi, Miles. Oh, that's weird. So here's me with one of the kittens in the back. Oh, you're welcome, Ms. M. Trying to see if I can find one of the videos of Facebook of Finnegan. Save a fox. Oops, that's save a rescue. That's not what I want. Save a Fox Corporation.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, this is it.
Oh my goodness, this is Finnegan. Just oh, it's a Dixie do. What was that Dixie do? Oh my goodness. What is that, a Finnegan? Huh? A Finnegan fox? Yeah. Please. Oh my gosh, stop kicking me in the head, Dixie.
That's just a little bit of Finnegan. I want there's, but he actually sounds like he laughs.
Liz, are you helping me? Good boy. Good boy. Is that your toy? Is that your toy? Oh my.
All right, where are you?
Hey guys, happy Finnegan Fox Friday. So we have some new Save the Fox merchandise.
Finnegan wasn't in the mood that day. Oh, Finnegan's got a coloring book now too.
Girl, you good girl. Hi, Finn. You gonna get a toy donation? Somebody sent you a cupcake. Oh my goodness. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. Get a cupcake. You're a good foxy. You're a good boy. Oh my gosh. Are you so excited about your cupcake? Oh my goodness. You're so welcome. Hi, Dixie.
So you heard. It sounds like he's laughing when he pat his belly. So it's very, very cute.
First batch of kid.
I don't know. They're wild animals, so that's one of the reasons why they're in most states they're not allowed to be kept as pets. So, um, plus, if you ever watch some of the videos when Finnegan goes into the house, he pees a lot in that house, and not in a litter box. So, oh, here comes Magic. Hi, Magic. Magic boy. Magic. All right, I have to get on the road. Bye, derecho. Um, Also, a little later on, I did put down the memorial stone for Bonnie in Albert's garden. So I took a picture, and I'm going to be posting it on Chatters a little bit later. This is what Pat and Vicky got uh, to memorialize Bonnie here at the rescue center. Thank you, Daniel. All right. That's going to look great. People are going to log in at like 2 in the morning and say, who's sitting up there? Yes, I'm still a little kid. I can't help it. Thank you. I appreciate that, Ms. M. Thank you, Kathleen. And I will see everybody later. Well, hello. Goodbye, Mom. Show. Hi, Coralie. You've decided to wake up? The story time is over. I don't care if you're sitting in the queen. I don't care. Bye, Lucy. Lucy.